Have you been reminded again today? Do tell, how many blocks until 840,000? Is it contrarian to be tired of the announcements of how close we are to the Bitcoin halving? Just how much excitement can one have? Now, I'm not a party pooper and I do like celebrations, but I'm going to throw a change up in this video and not really discuss the massive quadrennial event for Bitcoin. Let's talk about why we would celebrate the halving in the first place.
Bitcoin creates a digital arena, not a virtual one. It is defined by reality, not authority.
It's Sir Ulric, and if you like my content, make sure to like, subscribe, and send Corey Clipston DMs about how much you enjoy Swan Originals. Just kidding. Don't do that. My signal meter is green. Bitcoin is the most important discovery in the 21st century and is on the verge of a major milestone in the life cycle of the network. In the words of renowned Bitcoin author Durgigi, Bitcoin is a discovery of natural digital scarcity. This is in juxtaposition to virtual digital scarcity like a CBDC or an NFT, or natural physical scarcity like gold or silver, or virtual physical scarcity like fiat currencies or baseball cards. Each of these can carry subjective value. I don't deny this, but it's important to understand the source of that subjective value. Understanding the rules of these physical and virtual arenas is key to understanding the value proposition of the element of focus. You have to ask yourself honestly these three questions that Durgigi proposes. 1. Who can create more of it? 2. Is there a way to farm it effectively? 3. Who is in charge of the arena? And I would add the fourth question, whom is the network composed of? For Bitcoin, you could say miners, invest in ASIC machines, individual node participants, and people who understand the characteristics of sound money. A group who naturally fits all those questions is Marathon Digital Holdings. They trade on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol MARA. Marathon's mission is to enhance the Bitcoin network by sustainably increasing the amount of computational power or hash rate. For the past year, Marathon has been producing more than 2 times as much Bitcoin as they liquidate, positioning themselves confidently when the block subsidy is cut in half this week. No public miner, most importantly, hodls more Bitcoin than Marathon. The next competitor is half the stack. I'm just saying, check them out. Tell them Ulric at Swan sent you. So what about gold with these 4 questions? Well, very similar, except when we say who's in charge of the arena. The miners again. Red flag when the group who can create more is also in charge of the arena. So what about NFTs? Well, anyone can create more of them. No physical cost to farm more. The Ethereum Foundation or Solana Labs runs the show, and people who like collectibles make up the network. That doesn't really sound like a sustainable or reliable group to fix our corrupted money. And finally, what about fiat currency? And that's an interesting one. 1, an instrument of the government. 2, Cantillon effect. 3, the government. And 4, people who have varying degrees of disinterest or misunderstanding about money. Now, that just sounds like a virtual prison to me. Do you place more value on a stranger who's using all the tools at his disposal to enrich himself, or on a system that doesn't allow individual actors to bend rules? One might say the government will never allow Bitcoin to win, but you people who say this, like always, are being short-sighted. The world governments, they're made up of individuals just trying to make a buck. They care more about making sure they are better off at the end of their tenure. You know the saying, some politicians will sell their own grandmother to win the election. What do you think those same people feel about the worth of your hard-to-acquire dollars in your bank account when they can just decree how many more dollars are needed to satisfy their wants? Your dollar-based savings? It's an absolute lie. In this culture corner, here's a long excerpt from Durgigi capturing the profound nuance of digital scarcity. While the world of Bitcoin is a digital world, it is not a virtual world. It is not a made-up world. Yes, the rules were made up by Satoshi, but they are neither arbitrary nor can they be changed arbitrarily. More importantly, the world that arises out of these rules is not virtual. It is not a simulated world. It requires real cost, real time, real energy, and consequently real sacrifice to maintain itself. It is not a world by decree. It is a non-virtual world that arises out of the manipulation of bits and bytes. A shared view of past events rooted in the physical and mathematical laws of our universe. Bitcoin is not a simulation. Consequently, the digital scarcity of Bitcoin is not virtual. It arises out of real physical limits. The rules of Bitcoin's difficulty adjustment do not simulate physical laws. They are brought into existence because of physical laws. If Bitcoin does not bring monetary freedom, then Bitcoiners are to be the most pitied. The value proposition of Bitcoin must be rooted in real-world significance. If it isn't, then Bitcoin advocates are not only to be pitied, but liars as well. Can you self-custody Bitcoin without a trusted third party? Yes. If you self-custody Bitcoin, can it be stolen? No. Can the Bitcoin total supply be inflated past its hard-coded cap? No. Is the supply fully auditable at all times? Yes. Can your transaction to another person running the Bitcoin Core software be censored? No. These characteristics, they have real impact on your world. A ledger is a way to establish record of transactions without carrying fungible tokens. The Bitcoin ledger is decentralized, with copies all over the world that update every time a block is mined. The records are pseudonymously settled and sealed in immutable history. Bitcoin is real, empirically as is testable, repeatable, reliable, and has better valuation track record than any tech company that perpetuates the dystopian fiat prison. Rational in that its rules are indisputably ethical, providing property rights where fiat instruments and even real estate provides avenues for governments to take from you. Money is a social construct. A major factor in assessing the quality of that society is how honest the money is. We have broken money, therefore we have a broken society. Bitcoin is a tool ready-made to help mend society back. Bitcoin is technology for the people, digital scarcity manifested, and a promising tool for a future world. And people wonder why we celebrate this momentous milestone at block 840K. I am Sir Ulric, like my father before me. When Bitcoin halves, it's just a simple reminder of an asset you must have.